So this is the pattern that we're doing for May, if we get to have classes anyway. But it's called Zip It. This one uses 7 half-yard pieces of fabric, and then you have your dark frames and your little points with your light background. And it's just a really fun, easy pattern to showcase a nice line of fabric. Okay, this one is also Zip It, and this one is our April pattern, and this is the other version of it. This one is using 14 fat quarters, where the other one was 7 half yards. This is 14 fat quarters, and I've used my light green. Also on this one, the inner border is optional because I forgot to put it on this one. This is the May pattern, and this is Bed of Roses. This is one of my students sent me a picture of a quilt. She asked me if I'd write up the pattern. Basically, it is my Blackford's Beauty block right here. And then you just take these corners and you put those corners on this center block here. And we have the 2 blocks. It's all it is this block and this block. Very easy using the Tri-Rex ruler. No, excuse me, using the 1.5 by 3 Flying Geese ruler. I wanted to show you the quilting on this Bed of Roses quilt. Becky Quinlan quilted it. She did an incredible job. She designed all the elements and programmed it into her computer and had her machine do it. But she had to physically design each one of these elements, and I just think the quilting is incredible. The border is just magnificent. I mean, she really did a beautiful job putting the big roses in here and the feathers and all. So I just wanted to give Becky Quinlan a lot of credit. It was supposed to go to our QA quilt show to be shown, but since we didn't have it, I wanted you to see it. I wanted to show you this one too. This is also Bed of Roses. I had one of my students pattern test this one for me, and Julie Scott did this one, and she did a phenomenal job. Julie does almost everything in red, white, and blue, and I just wanted to show you what a beautiful quilt it can be. It doesn't have to be just 2 of the same color family. It can be 2 totally different color families to make a stunning quilt. Hi, this is the other choice for May, and this is Grandma's Charms. One of my students sent me a picture of an old quilt that she saw, and I'm sure it was a much, much bigger scale because it was on a queen size bed. But this one is done with 12 fat quarters. There are 6 purples and 6 blue teal, and it's just a fun way of showing you. I love the diagonal set for it. It's a really easy and fun one. This one was done with fat quarters, and I have another one I'll show you that's done with 10-inch squares. And this pattern is already up on Etsy, and it hopes that you have fun with it. This is the other version that I did of Grandma's Charms, and the reason I called it Grandma's Charms is because you can make it with 4 packs of 5-inch squares or 1 pack of 10-inch squares, which is what I did with this one. I cut them into 4 packs of 5, or 4 stacks of 5, and this is the In the Beginnings collection, one of their seasons collections, and I just thought it was a very unusual color choice for me, but I really liked the way it came out. My first choice for June, this one is called Floating Stars. One of my students sent me a picture of a quilt that she really wanted to make. She tried to buy the pattern. They told her it was sold out. So I changed it, and I used fat quarters on this one. There are 16 fat quarters. You have 2 fat quarters for your center large star, and then we're using the 2x4 Flying Geese ruler, and that is the block lock that I like, and they're for here and here, and then there are the other fat quarters are your stars. I've also done a video on how to do the 2x4 Flying Geese ruler for this one, and so this one and the next one, Yesterday's Gardens, both use the 2x4 Flying Geese ruler, and I do have a video on YouTube that shows how to use it. Choice for June, and this is Yesterday's Garden. It has a light and a dark of 6 color families on this version, and it again uses the 2x4 Flying Geese ruler, and again I have that in a YouTube video on how to do this one. There's also a cat in the cradle technique to make this unit that's also in the video. Okay, so this is the pattern for July, and it's called Summer Nights. And I just really love the way this one, you could have seen this one already posted as a pattern on Etsy. And it is really very easy, again, using the 2x4 Flying Geese ruler. a few folded corners on these two units, but it's just a 3 fabric quilt, and I quilted this one myself over the break that we've had here, and it's just, I think, a fun quilt. I really enjoyed making it. Would be great in red, white, and blue. This is the other pattern for July, and this one is called Tumbleweeds. This one was done with 16 fat quarters, and it has kind of a little kite shape. It's just, you have 2 backgrounds and your 16 fat quarters, but the block is just right there. Very easy, really fun to do. This is the other version of Tumbleweeds. I fell in love with this fabric when it was first posted in the end of February. It is the Backsplash, Hoffman Backsplash fabric, and it is just an ombre fabric, and it is just one fabric basically, other than the blue and the white. It is it's just one of those fabrics that has so much color, so much movement. I just had to play with it, so I thought it would be good in this pattern, and so this was a fun one. Hi, I'm Roxanne Carter, and this is the pattern that will be passed out to all my Girls Day Out, Girls Night Out classes in August. This one is called Tuxedo. It was made using fat quarters and your 2 black and white as your hourglass block, or your other blocks. So it's really fun, it's very easy, and I have another one to show you. Okay, so this is the other tuxedo pattern. This one is the lap size, 20 blocks. The other one was a twin size, which was 30 blocks. This one has 12 fat quarters, and the other one had 12. This one also has a print here, so you can showcase a really fun print on the border and in the blocks. This is the other pattern for August, and this one is Regency, and it has 2 different backgrounds of a print, 2 different backgrounds of a smaller print, and then your 1 accent and background. So this is just a fun way of using a really pretty line. This line is called Regency from Timeless Treasures, and I just thought it was a pretty quilt, so it will be one of our choices for August.